Hafa day, everybody, and welcome to Fiesta Friday. I'm Jason Salas. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. There is a wonderful book coming out, and it applies to the rich history of the South, specifically Sumay and Santa Rita, but everybody on Guam is going to want to pick this up because it shows us about the rich heritage and the significance of this very, very important part of the island. And James Perez Viernes is with us right now. He's the author of the book, also a doctoral candidate from the University of Hawaii, and a history adjunct professor at the University of Guam. Basically, your titles can't fit on the TV screen, so we're going to iterate over it right now. But basically, you really, really love history, specifically of your island.
Yes, I do, yeah.
So tell me, what was the motivation for putting this book together?
This book actually is a result of some ongoing long-term research that started back in 2006 when I went to do my master's degree in Hawaii in Pacific Island Studies. And, as an indigenous person kind of going into a very Western academic program, we were encouraged to pursue research that was close to home, that would give back to our communities back in the islands. And in reflecting on that, it came back always to the oral histories and stories from both my grandmothers who were from Sumay village. And so I just really started to cultivate a passion for the history of that village and really the sacrifice that those people from Sumay have made. And still have been able to overcome in building the thriving village of Santa Rita after the war.
Because documentation is, relatively speaking, like so sparse from that period of time, and the generation is like a lot older and everything. How did you conduct your research, and how difficult was it to kind of put together all the pieces of the patchwork?
Right. I mean, there were difficulties. I was lucky enough, being from Santa Rita myself, both my parents being from Santa Rita, both my grandmothers also being from Santa Rita and Sumay. I was able to work through the family connections, through the community connections, to find individuals who were from Sumay and who were all very, very willing to talk about their memories about Sumay, to share with me their stories. So it was really a matter of, like I say, taking it back to the village and going to these people's homes, spending time with them, developing relationships with them so that I could, in a way, help them to have their voice kind of heard, because in many ways in Guam history, the Chamorro voice is very much silenced. And so that really was what it was about, was finding these people and developing those relationships with them.
Now, even with your vested interest, in this subject matter, what have you learned from, taking away from it? Because, we have so many people here on the show, documentarians and, people working on other books and on film projects and everything. And some of them say, I started out trying to learn something specific or, teach people about something like this. And I learned a completely different, aspect and got completely different perspective on this. Was it like that for you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, on a personal level, it really did help me to kind of solidify my own identity as a descendant of Sumay, solidify a sense of belonging to something. But on a larger scale, what I learned primarily is that this identity of Tautau Sumay, being from Sumay, has remained strong in the generations that came after Sumay was destroyed. It's very strong in Santa Rita. I've heard young people 20 years old refer to themselves as being from Sumay. So I learned the power of that identity in overcoming adversity and the need to foster that. The people of Sumay right now are few in numbers, and so it's important at this point to engage in these community histories and to document their stories for these future generations.
Well, the launch date of the book is very, very significant, and the timing couldn't be more perfect.
Right. We are launching this book on this Saturday, December 14th at the Fiesta in Santa Guadalupe. The village of Santa Rita will celebrate the feast day of Our Lady of Guadalupe, who actually was the patroness of Sumay village. Okay, and actually this year to the day will be the 61st anniversary of the dedication of the church in Santa Rita to the patroness of Sumay.
Excellent. Okay, and what should people know, whether they are familiar with the history of that part of the island or, they're just completely new to the island and want to learn, about their new home, and what will they take away from the book?
Well, really the book, the way that I see it and the way that we have tried to formulate it so that it's accessible across generations, across cultures, is that, it is both a historical document that provides a narrative of this pre-war village that was Sumay, not just any village, but a village that was really a hub for the island, for commerce, for travel, and employment, but also a keepsake memorial, if you will, that families can have in their homes, that grandparents can share with their children, that not only teaches them about history, but shows them their place within that history, whether they are descendants of Sumay, whether they are people who are just living on the island and curious about their surroundings. So really that was the goal, is to provide a historical resource, but also a keepsake.
All right, James. Well, we want to make sure this book gets out in as many hands and is viewed by as many eyeballs as possible. So where can people pick it up?
Right, so the promotional launch will occur right after the Fiesta Mass and Procession at the church, Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Santa Rita. Again, this December 14th. The Mass and Procession begin at 4:30, and immediately after we will be launching the book. It is available for a very special promotional price of $25 at that promotion, at that launch. After that initial launch, works with various vendors on the island, and we'll keep you all informed as to where the book might be able to be purchased after that. But always the staff at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church have volunteered to be the point of contact for anyone wishing to purchase a copy.
Excellent. So people can call down there.
Yes.
And it is the perfect time to do so because it is, of course, the holidays. It makes a great Christmas present.
Yes, we're encouraging people. I mean, this makes a great gift for your families, whether they're here on Guam or abroad.
All right. I can't wait to read it. All right, James, a pleasure. Happy holidays.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on your work.
Thank you.
All right, and stay tuned because we will be right back. More Fiesta Friday right after this.